And we're back. Oh, I hate when I do that and I'm not live on another platform. And we're back. Anyway, I know it gets old, but I like it. So that's all that matters. Okay. Anyway, so guys, gals, everybody, non binaries, binaries. This guy got in my Uber and he explained that to me, and I totally get it now. Okay. So non-binaries it is. Today, in the minute of each one teach one, I thought we would talk about something that was a little relevant to what we're going through. Allegedly, because the media can believe whatever we want, whatever they want. We have a choice. People and start believing it, and that we're so. But just in case some people are in your employment aren't uh, 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 is pop, and you're probably suffering. So I can just say that it ain't gonna last forever. And then on top of everything, you know, for years I have worked as a consultant, so I was always able to get unemployment until I found something else. But I'm the type of person that I'm not just gonna sit on that. I'm gonna go out and make things happen because I need to be making at least what I was making when I was working or more. So yeah. But anyway, I wanted to talk about 7 ways to recession proof your life. And here we were, and, you know, I know for people that they might be have to have um, use resources that are available, like social services and you know food scenarios. Like I said, people, you really can't survive off of that. So hoping that not something that a person is settling for. I was talking to somebody out there here, and I know that I don't know all the scenario and stories of what homeless people get and what they don't get, but I do know that there's that comes with living in LA. And so some people don't like to take uh use social services or whatever, but some people have to. If you have children, I mean, I know you're not going to let your kids starve. So there are ways. So make sure you look into those ways so that you're not suffering as some may be. But with that being said, I wanted to get on the topic of you can on making things uh happen for you in your household, because you may or may not be aware of some of these things, but there's many everyday habits that the average person, if you think about it, can implement to protect themselves from basically getting in a recession or having to sit in a recession. Just to function right quick. Maybe you don't know, y'all see my head moving here. Could tell this settings I have because normally you see my green screen up. I didn't even bother today because I don't see it working. So I just didn't put it up. But I see sometimes it makes me look like my head is disappearing. That could be because I'm not close enough to anyway. But with that being said, about that, hopefully it, it doesn't bother you too bad. But are the population a long how activity is going for themselves, for the area, whatever. So, a common rule of thumb is that you have two consecutive quarters of negative gross domestic product or GDP. And once that happens, then although it could be a little bit more complex than that, and there's other formulas that can be used, but once that happens, then that is pronounced as a recession. Now, the National Bureau of Economic Research, they measure recession looking at like payrolls, um, industrial products, things like that, and sales. So they have more complexity to get the numbers that they're looking for. But for the most part, because like by right, you should be 1 month's worth of bills and expenses in the bank. So if all your bills came to $3,585.65, then you should have 1 month worth of savings in the bank. Okay, so that means you paid this month, but you still got next month's in there. So each time you get paid, you keep adding to those savings so that you keep getting growing to that amount. By the end of the next month, you got the next month, and so on and so forth. That's how it should go. But some people dibble and dabble in it, and that's the reason why they get behind. So you should have 1 month in your reserve. But according to the industry, the whole, then we're, but for most part, um, you can make it so that these effects aren't felt at all if you are doing it correctly. And as the recession hits, there's a couple of tools. So some people can individually uh, develop habits that will protect them, and that's ahead of time. And so that's like sources of income and living within your means. If you know you can only afford ramen noodles, well, hell, you're gonna be eating ramen noodles with hamburger, ramen noodles with vegetables, ramen noodles with sauce on it, ramen noodles without sauce. I mean, you might get tired of ramen noodles, but hell, you're living within your means. It might not be ramen noodles, it might be bread and butter. I'm laughing, but I ain't laughing. But I'm thankful because as one individual, I'ma eat. And if I eat like a bird. I really do. I don't like like there are times when I get hungry and want to eat and I'll let myself eat, but most of the time I eat like a bird. So most of the time I come home and I might just want soup or I might just want crackers and cheese or meat and crackers or some fruit. Or I love the Boathouse Farm. Is it farm Boathouse Farm? Lick. They're they're like in a bottle. Boathouse Farm. They're over in the produce section. Uh, uh, because they have really good nutrients and stuff like that in them. But anyway, I can drink those and be filling because they some of them are protein, so on and so forth. But then and be good. So, you just got to figure out what works for you. You might lose a little weight, but hey, it's good for you. But in terms of income, you have an emergency fund, strong credit. You got to have good credit. And if you don't have good credit, this is the right time to work on it because basically, you know, I'm not going to lie. Now, my credit is fair. It was better. However, during um the COVID, I allowed myself to get more credit cards than I should have, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. And they'll get paid. I got loans, different things. They get paid. Sometimes it might not be on time, but they get paid. But it's just because, I mean, one of the things like you can't, and I'm speaking from experience. You can't allow yourself to get complacent because you sit there and you think, oh, shoot, I got an extra $2,000 or $200 or 20 cents and I'm going to use it. And you have to put things in perspective at that moment and time. Listen to yourself. Listen to your inner self. Your inner self says, nope, don't spend it. Don't spend it. So, with that being said, there are times in which I had to really buckle down and make sure that I wasn't doing something beyond my means. And I'm just really thankful that I did that. But at other times, there were times where I had to get myself vamped back up. So I couldn't spend, I couldn't go get a hamburger. I couldn't go get, extra this or extra that. I would just go get the stuff to make a hamburger or go get the stuff to make tacos because I love tacos. I could eat tacos every day, all day. Love tacos. Something about the crunchy, even though most Latino cultures, when I first came to California, I was like, well, where's the crunchy? And then I started realizing that those aren't really authentic. And I started enjoying the street tacos and the way that they make tacos. So I love it. But I love the corn taste more than I like the tortilla taste, the flour tortilla. So anyway, just a little bit about me, but I like tacos. So if I know that I want tacos and I go and I get the stuff to make tacos and then I have them for if I'm gonna eat them all week, I'm gonna eat them all week. Ain't nobody's business but mine. But anywho, and guacamole and pico de gallo. Oh my God, I just love Mexican food. So I could eat it all day, every day. Speaking of which, the Taco Bell has an enchilada, but it's not called an enchilada, but it looks good. I just don't know if anybody has tasted it, but it looks good. So anyway, so when it comes down to this in terms of income, like I said, have an emergency fund, strong credit, multiple sources of income. Everybody knows that I Uber and I do it full time, but I like today, like sometimes I Uber into the morning. So like last night, I took my son to the airport. Hey babe, I'm so proud of you. He moved from California to Florida. Hmm, But okay. I'm there for you, and I'll be in Florida in a couple months to go see him once he gets his stuff straight. Because I know he likes to get his place right. Hey, I'm so thankful. My son, he makes me feel so happy inside and out because he basically has shown me the things that he has learned. And then he sat me down one day and he was like, Mom, he said, I just want to thank you. You have taught me so many um, good life skills that I like. And it's funny because I remember these skills and remember teaching him these things, but I didn't think he would remember them as well as I mean, I knew he would, but I was just thankful that he acknowledged me for that. And so he made me feel good. And at one point I was really sad that he was leaving me here in LA by myself because the babies left, he left, everybody left, but it's just me and I'm okay because this was my forever home. So I don't have a problem and I feel like it's easy for me to travel. But anyway, that's hence why you got to build up your budget, I mean your income and your have extra money coming in and save for these things because you're going to want to go out and you don't want to be broke when you come back. So if I want to go spend a month with him in Florida, um, I'll go spend a month with him in Florida. And then when I come back, I'm gonna be straight. So that's the reason why you want to have that whole month reserve. But for the most part, sources I took him to the airport. What I was getting at, I took him to the airport, and when I go to work Uber, because I like to sleep, I want the most time that I can sleep. And then when I sleep and sleep and sleep and sleep and sleep, I'll get up and I'll feel like driving and I'll go out and I'll hang out and I'll work and make some money at the times where there's most money to be made. Now, lately, Uber has been kind of tripping and I'm not sure what's going on. But all I know is uh, my podcast needs to hurry up and monetize. Not only because this is my journey and I am enjoying my journey and I'm loving my journey and I'm processing each and every moment of it, but I feel like I know my success is imminent and I need it to keep, I need to make sure that I keep motivated as I'm going through the process. So I constantly have certain, processes that I go through to make sure that I'm staying motivated. But anyway, what I'm getting at was that I would go out and I'll work through the night and then I'll come home, go to sleep, get back up and go back during those certain nights. But some nights, sometimes most of the time, to be honest, I don't really like being out at night. I like going during the morning, getting it over with, and coming home, like I've said before. And most of the time I do that. But for some reason, I've got on this schedule that's messing me up because I'm tired. And so I just kind of have to put things in perspective. But when that happens, like I said, it's part of how I'm doing my multiple source of income. And right now, it's only income I get because I get to make my own schedule. I mean, I know that I have an IT degree and I can go back out and I can work in IT if I wanted to. However, I don't like being around those people. Those people are not positive to me. And because they're not positive to me, they reduce the energy level that I have and they make my energy negative. And I don't like that. So I enjoy being in a space where I am able to um, kind of manage my surroundings. And if I want to go somewhere, I can go somewhere. I ain't got to worry about asking somebody for time off. And I don't like begging nobody for it. I hate begging. Oh, there are some things where you do beg. But anyway, but also if you're living within your means, that's so important. You got to stay within your means. You know what I'm saying? Now, I sat up here. Let me tell y'all what's funny. I don't know why it is that I don't like to throw anything away. I think that when it comes down to it, like when you're a kid and you were going through some struggles or whatever, and maybe you didn't have some of the things that the other kids had, whatever the situation was, we know the story. But so I'm at my son's house while he's moving. And it could be because, there's such a difference in our ages, of course. I'm the mom. But he was trying to throw everything away. And I'm like, why are you throwing that away? No, I'll take it. Why are you throwing it away? No, I'll take it. Shit. It took us 30 minutes for him to just unload all the stuff that I done shopped for in his house or whatever. Now, I will say my microwave, I bought a cheap one on Amazon and all the paint was burning. I was like, well, hell, these carcinogenics are probably going into my food. I'm throwing this microwave in the trash. Come to find out, me and my sister both had bought the same microwave, and it was funny. And she was telling me the same thing. So anyway, meanwhile, my son over there with a Hamilton Beach microwave talking about he's throwing it away. I was like, oh no, 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 no. That's going to my house. So now I'm so excited and proud about my Hamilton Beach. He said I paid a pretty penny for that. And I was like, and you was just gonna throw it away. Shoot, not today. Anyway, so I shopped for that. Lots of cleaning supplies, some canned goods. I don't know. It's funny, but I don't like throwing nothing away. I'm sorry. But I will say that I have a projection. The reason why mainly is because now I live in a studio, but I'll be getting moving into a house and it'll have 2 or 3 bedrooms in it. So I'll be able to furnish it nicely and not worry about it. I don't have a problem recycling. Trust and believe me. So that's one good way, right? We can be economic and we can recycle. And then I don't know what he did with the clothes, but he was supposed to save a bag of clothes so I could take it to the homeless people. And there was this lady the other day, and I sure wish I had had a bag of clothes because she was out there crying on the curb, y'all, naked. See, everybody in LA is desensitized to the people just walking around naked, but I don't. I feel so bad. I literally would have pulled over and helped her dress had I had. And so I have lots of stuff that I have that I can't really keep stuff in my car because when I Uber, people put their suitcase in the trunk, and then they'll start complaining. People are tripped. And they think you don't know as an Uber driver who's saying what they're saying. So just so y'all know, when y'all be complaining about us, we know who you are. So get your life and quit complaining because it ain't a black car. It's not a limousine. It's an Uber. Okay. We have lives. Some people live in their car. I don't think that. Ooh, thank you, Jesus. Anyway, moving on. But some people, when it comes down to this economic issue that we're having, they have investments and they can think about long term and diversity holdings and things of that nature. So if you're one of those people that did that, now I never did. sister's a banker, and a lot of times I talk to her about that, and then she doesn't want to talk about it, so she tells me to go to talk to somebody else, and then I don't trust them, so I come back to her anyway. I don't know why she just don't give me the advice, but as well as be realistic about how much risk you could handle. But I got this guy in my Uber, and it's amazing to me how some people are so into things, and then when I pick them up, drop them off, and take them to different places, and I see the areas that they live in, like I might pick them up in downtown Long Beach, excuse me, which doesn't Long Beach is really pretty, but um, some areas are seedy, and you think that maybe somebody's not doing something on the up and up, and it ain't my business to be honest. But then I drop them off in um, Anaheim Hills or somewhere out in Orange County, big money places or whatever. But you just never know or whatever. So big ups to the people who are into investing, and I really want to learn how to invest and to get into some of the things that we were talking about in my Uber when he was telling me about you act that can do the investing for you, and they'll make these types of investments and put you in a good place. So those are just some of the things that I wanted to talk about as we're going through our recession, because our economic crunch is at this moment. A lot are feeling it. So if you feel that you're going through an economic crunch, these might be some of the things that you could put on your docket to try and help you to save money, to spare food, to share food, to do whatever you have to do to make things last. But we'll be right back with our last segment of Rep Your City. Yeah, love it.